In this lesson, we're going to look at a series of web services hosted by the Chicago Transit Authority, the CTA for short, and these web services provide, as web services, in a REST style, the same information that's available at the CTA website. I should mention that these services are near and dear to my heart. I take the bus to and from work, and so I have a little client that informs me when the next bus is going to arrive at a given station. Let me start out by contrasting the CTA services with Amazon's. The Amazon e-commerce service is traditional in the following sense. There's one service with a whole bunch of operations. So, for example, we've looked at the item lookup operation, but there are search operations, order operations, filling the shopping cart operations, and so on. The CTA services are designed a little bit differently. It's one operation per service. So each service consists of a single operation, which makes everything very simple and very modular. The CTA, like Amazon, provides an XML schema, but again, given the modularity of the CTA services, the schema is very small, 30 lines or so per service. By contrast, that Amazon e-commerce service has a schema of about 1,300 lines. The CTA service is free to use. You do need what they call an API ID. I've provided the URL there if you're interested in trying this. I'm going to refer to that ID as the API key because that's what the CTA calls it. So let me give you a quick example. You're looking, by the way, at the working file CTA Bus Tracker 1.txt. My program, and we'll look at the code in a bit, would issue a GET request against a URL such as this. Let me highlight the URL for emphasis. And it would provide the relevant information, including my API key. In this particular case, we're asking the CTA when the next bus is going to arrive at a particular station. The CTA has numeric values that identify each of the stations. This happens to be a station on a north-south street, and the station is known informally as Southport. Once this request is issued, the CTA responds with the expected XML document. You see it here. It's about 26 lines in length, and I've marked some of these. There's a request timestamp. This is the informal name of the station location, the direction in which the bus is moving. By the way, this can be a little complicated. This particular bus moves south, but then makes a left turn to go east. This is the expected arrival time. In my experience, the CTA is within 5 minutes or so it's a fairly reliable service. And if you want the GPS coordinates, you can get those as well. Let's take a very quick look at the schema, just so you get a sense of how simple these services are. To that end, I'm switching working files to CTA Bus Tracker 2.txt. And this is most of the XML schema. I've excised 8 lines or so. And as you can see, for example, at this marked element, you have ETA, so expected time of arrival. And notice that max occurs is set as unbounded. You can either get a single time, or if you like, you could get, for example, all of the expected arrival times over a day, or if these change by day, over a week or even longer. Very nice. And down here, we referenced this a bit earlier. This is a numeric value that indicates which direction the bus is moving.